All right, well, yesterday was interesting. We did bring back players that we were hoping to come back. The contracts are a little here and there. Some I like, some I'm like, huh. The fact that we weren't as aggressive on certain players, I'm like, huh. But for the most part, on paper, this team for the New York Knicks is going to be a better team. That is a given. That is no doubt. There was just something I was expecting and something I was looking for that didn't happen yesterday. I'm not going to jump in arms and go as crazy as I was seeing some of you guys going over on Twitter and social media. But at the same time, just, you know, sitting back and seeing $53 million transpire the way it did, just a little curious. But here's my opinions on our signings and not signings of yesterday. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video, join the Discord for more conversations, and make sure you follow me over on Twitch, where we have more content 3 times a week. Very good stuff. But let's jump right into free agency. Obviously free agency is not over. It just, there was a lot that happened so fast in day one. I feel like that's becoming the new trend in the NBA, where everything happens in day one, and that was no different yesterday, Monday, August 2nd of 2021, where everybody was pretty much gone in the first day, and the Knicks really didn't get anybody of that list of players that we were hoping to get that were brand new. We saw Lonzo Ball be the first signing of the night, which just ripped the band-aid right off. So as much as I hate the Bulls, thank you Bulls for just getting it off early and not making me have to sweat the rest of the day. Lonzo Ball signed a big deal to the Chicago Bulls, and so on and so forth. You know, Kyle Lowry, all these other players going to other teams. If you want my full thoughts on the winners and losers of free agency in day one, you can check it out over on CK Hoops. But let's talk about the Knicks right here, because our first signings within the first half an hour, 45 minutes of the free agency period was bringing back none other than Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel right off the jump. Now, I like Alec Burks' contract. We got Alec Burks for a 3-year deal, $30 million. I think that's an amazing contract for Alec Burks. I'm surprised on the amount of years, though. I mean, it's cheap, it's affordable for the next few years. It's not, you know, that's not terrible, but I was surprised by the length of the contract, and not just him, but in Nerlens Noel as well, because his was for 3 years, 32. But regardless, his was another one where I wasn't expecting to be very long. I'm very happy to see Nerlens get a long-term deal. I mean, these contracts can obviously still be flipped in the future. If Nerlens Noel has another solid season, his contract's going to be cheap. He has another good year the way he did last year. A team is going to want to take this contract so we can flip that into assets or flip that into another player, add him to a big deal in the future. So I get it from that standpoint, but still the 3 years I wasn't really expecting. I thought we were going to go after a lot of shorter term deals in this offseason, but you solidified 2 of the key players that helped us get to where we were last year. You had Alec Burks that gets to add his veteran leadership and add his scoring to this depth of guards that we have on this team. And then Nerlens Noel gets to help us out in a thin center position that we still need to fill out. But you bring back 2 very vital pieces to our season from last year, and I can't argue with that at all. Then after some time passed, we were finally able to re-sign Derrick Rose, and it was on a bigger contract than I was expecting. I was thinking that we would be giving a 2-year deal, so then we could still pay him because he deserves to get paid. Do a 2-year deal and call it a season. But no, they did a 3-year, $43 million deal. His contract is still being worked, and there's still a lot of conversation around his contract right now, because though it is $43 million, there's still the conversation of the $43.6 million deal to keep his early bird rights and this, that, and the third. And there's so many different conversations going around with Derrick Rose right now where there's still not a lot of answers, at least at the time of me recording this video. But the point of the matter is Derrick Rose will be coming back, and we're gonna retain him for 3 more seasons. And though I did want Derrick Rose to come back, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the 3-year deal. Are we gonna get that same kind of play from Derrick Rose each of those years? But is he going to be our starter for those 3 years? That part I do not know. We don't know with Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau really loves his guys, really loves the vets. So for all we know, unless a guy like Deuce McBride or maybe even Luka Vildoza comes out and they shine in this season and they're able to steal the starting point guard role, it could be very possible that Tom Thibodeau goes long term with his boy Derrick Rose until the end. So as far as the ex-Knicks that we've had, those are the 3 Knicks that we did bring back, running it back from last year's team. But one of the newer signings that we did get was none other than Evan Fournier. We will lose one Frenchman and get another one, but the one that we got is the more offensively inclined Frenchman. Matter of fact, he's the leading scorer for the French national team overseas right now in the Olympics, and they just sealed their win over Italy a few hours ago. Evan Fournier's deal is a 4-year, $78 million contract, but it is being told that the 4th year is in fact a team option, meaning that just like with everything what you saw with Bobby Portis and past contracts, we have the control of his last year. If he's just not panning out in 3 seasons and we don't want to bring him back, we are the ones that are in control of that last season, which I like because Evan Fournier does get paid, so good for him. But at the same time, the Knicks are still in control of the contract. And yet again, just like what I said with both Nerlens and even Alec Burks, though Fournier's contract might be a little bit more, he's going to be in a place where he's going to be able to play his game. And if he plays well enough, he is going to boost his trade value. All these players could be put into some kind of move to get somebody in the long term, because it really feels like, and this is the next part I want to talk about because that's literally all the signings we made. It really feels like the Knicks are playing the trade game right now, and they're looking to go after a trade and sometime in the near future, whether it's by the deadline or whether it's at the end of the season. It seems like the Knicks right now, the Knicks have gone the timeline of hoping that the players can give enough of a value to then be a part of a bigger trade to give us a big name player to be a part of the roster in the future. I don't know if that's Damian Lillard. I don't know if that's Sexton. I don't know if that's DeJounte Murray. I don't know if that's Shai Gilgeous, but I doubt it's Shai Gilgeous now after he just signed that big fat contract for OKC. Shout out to Shai. Good for you, bro. But there's got to be some kind of bigger picture here. If not, at the very least, the Knicks do have a playoff type team right now, at least on paper. So even if there is no big picture trade in the horizon, at the very least, we could hopefully see this team run it back. Because the one thing I did enjoy about this free agency, even though I still would have liked to see us go and get another big, one more big, a cheaper big, maybe like JaVale, but he ended up going back to Denver. One thing I do like about this team is you got a good mesh of the youth and vets on this team. And with the draft picks that we got, there's no excuses as far as Thibodeau not playing these younger guys. I understand, we know who Tom Thibodeau is and has been in the past, but with the guys that we have, all they have to do is just be somewhat like how they played in college. And now I'm talking about Q Grimes and Deuce McBride as far as their play. Jericho Sims, is the jury's still out as far as when he's going to play. I believe at some point this season he's going to be a part of the rotation. I just feel like with our 2 centers, there's going to be some sort of an injury problem. I'm not hoping for him, knocking on wood, but I'm just being realistic when it comes to Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel. So I do believe Jericho Sims breaks the rotation at some point this season. But at the same time, Q Grimes is going to be a part of this rotation. It'd be asinine that he does not play under Tom Thibodeau unless his offense just completely falls off a cliff. And my bold prediction for this season is that Deuce McBride at some point in the season plays some starting minutes at the point guard. That's my bold prediction for the season. But we're going to talk about that kind of stuff later down the line. The point of the matter is, with these signings that we've done so far, we've put ourselves to have a team that is still good enough to be somewhat in the mid-tier of the Eastern Conference. Hopefully this is all anticipation and building for a bigger trade to come in the future. But again, I'm not holding my breath. It just seems like that could be the possibility, but I think what we got right now is what we got right now. And if something doesn't work, then we might make a trade in the mid. I don't know. But what are you guys thinking? I know that there's not a lot to be seen or heard or told from our front office, because, you know, we really are running a mob kind of situation with our front office because they're not telling us anything. Though I know that might bug and irritate a lot of you guys. To me, it doesn't bug me that much. I don't think we have to know what they're doing. I get it, as Knicks fans, you know, we want to know, we want to understand what the plan is. But even if we did know what they're doing, we'll dislike it. And then what do we do next? You know what I mean? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to sign a letter to James Dolan and say, please don't do the thing that you said in the press conference today. It just doesn't work that way. So whether we know or not, the Knicks are going to do what the Knicks are going to want to do. And hopefully that's just whatever they're planning on doing right now is going to better the team. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But for right now, with the rotation that we have right now, with the guys that we have right now, at the very least, this is still somewhat a playoff team in the Eastern Conference, and that's something that I'm willing to take. But like I said a few minutes ago, I really expect to at least still see our younger guys still be a part of this rotation. Emmanuel quickly getting a bigger role, Obi Toppin hopefully getting a bigger role with this rotation, and these rookies getting some opportunities to play with this team right away. I really expect that to happen this season, but maybe I'm too optimistic. What's your thoughts? What do you think about the signings? Do you like us bringing back Alec Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel and Derrick Rose, excuse me, and then the addition of Evan Fournier. How do you feel about the signings? Let me know your thoughts about everything in the comments below. But you know what it is. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Make sure you go join the Discord and follow me over on Twitch. All those links are in the description below. Be on the lookout. There might be more videos today on the channel. If the Knicks make any other kind of signing or any kind of trade that happens, be on the lookout because I will try and cover that as soon as possible if that happens today. So there might be another video today. If not, this is the video for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. You know what it is. Let's get it. Knicks fans, gotta trust the process. It's all we can do right now. But let me hear what you guys have to say in the comments. I'm out of here. Peace.
Cold pizza like Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.